to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Mic check, waifu, waifu. Tell, is that you?
What's up, Polo?
This is episode 190 of Mic Check, Waifu, Waifu. As always, is brought to you by Lube Complex. Make sure you go to lubecomplex.com and check out the new releases they drop there. It's also brought to you by don'ttalkshop.com and patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu Waifu. Make sure you head over to patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu Waifu. Get early access to the video version and find out why me and Toe wearing the exact same shirt on accident. Almost the exact same shirt. Looking like twins and shit. And you get access to the after story, the bonus conversational podcast that just went live Saturday, goes live there every Saturday. And boy, when I tell you that is an incredible episode. Incredible episode. We talked about The Last of Us HBO series, the first 2 episodes, only 2 episodes. So maybe we'll bring that up in the future, more episodes, because now I have access to HBO Max. Shout out to Teliano for that. and procrastination. Funny enough. So check that out. It's the title is The Last of Us Show and Procrastination with a couple of extra letters in there. I don't know why these letters are in there, but it's spelled funny. But maybe you should listen to it and check that out and find out why. But shout out to all Patreon producers: AB, Aaron Brown, Dre the Goat G, Johnny from Shogo Ha, Kid the Pro from Chaotic Culture Podcast, and Shogo Ha, explicitly Monique Williams, Nachi, Saphir. Thank y'all so much for producing this and many other episodes of the podcast. Shout out to Shogo Ha. I was in there. I came at the tail end of their space because I came in after I started streaming. And shout out to my streams, by the way. I only streamed 3 total streams, and I went from basically 0 subs to 45 subs. So the comeback is real. I appreciate y'all for supporting me over on twitch.tv/PoloBornFly. But I came in their spaces right after they ended my stream and heard Rob J spitting.
What are you spitting about?
Let me tell you what he was spitting about, Tel. So we was talking about Blue Lock. I know he still likes Blue Lock, but he still mentioned the biggest problem that we have with Blue Lock is those damn monologues, man. He was like, man, that boy Isagi, man, I hope he don't spend 25 minutes in his head the whole time. And that is a fucking fact, man. It's always, I will, I have to, I need to, let's change, let's move, I gotta go, I gotta pass, I gotta move. And it's no animations, nobody's moving, nobody's doing anything. It's just him talking with his eyes being the only thing that's animated until he passes the fucking ball 25 minutes into the episode.
But what actually makes it bad, at least for me, because that could actually be okay if it was somewhat progressive. The issue is that he says the same thing
over
each time, and then they just take that same photo frame with just his figure moving, like Polo said, with the eyes, and it's like the static figure moving with just the eyes animated, saying the same thing he said 15 seconds ago.
And the last 20 episodes that he said the same thing in. I need to adapt. I need to, I will, I have to, we need to, let's do this. It always starts off with a I need to, or I have to, or I will. I get it, man. We get it. You can speed the shit up. Because to be fair, and I'm not even gonna cap, like the last 2 recent episodes I've actually been enjoying more so than usual, because they felt still lacking in the progress, but more progressive than it has been in the past. But again, we spent 17 minutes of this episode just him talking in his head, which is fine, which could be fine, but we ain't going nowhere. But it is better. It is better. I digress though. So how you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling good.
I just kind of came in hot.
No, that's cool. You needed an antagonist button there, but
A 2-second antagonist.
it's like that sometimes. Sometimes you need it.
That's a fact.
But I'm good, bro. Monique went to the grocery store and came back home. I go outside to load, like take all the groceries out the car, and next thing you know, we got a dog.
You have a dog? Wait a minute.
Yeah, for real, bro. And she laying in my lap right now.
Let me see.
We got a dog.
Was she sleeping?
Yeah.
Is it a little dog?
It's a little dog. Little dog.
No, it could get bigger though.
No,
that's unfortunate.
I'm not a little dog person either.
Yeah, I know you're not.
But
she is super cute though.
Yeah, she's adorable. But
little dogs suck. I ain't gonna cap.
She has been stuck to Monique and I like glue, and this is where she feels like sleeping right now. So
you gotta check out the Patreon to get early access to the video version so you can see this adorable ass puppy.
Yeah, her name is Valentine.
She looks too young to be without her mama.
No, she's old enough.
Oh, she went to the store and picked her up or something?
No. So the lady across the street has been breeding dogs and we had no idea. But apparently this dog was born 2 months ago. Tomorrow she'll be born 2 months
That's
ago.
not old enough.
So, well,
is it?
It is.
I guess 5 weeks. 5 weeks. You got to get all the shots and stuff.
Yeah. So she eats regular food now.
Yeah.
But she's good now, and we just got to get her a collar and stuff. So yeah, now we have a dog, and the kids already love her.
That's good. That's good.
The only thing is we got to keep her from the baby and the baby away from her.
Right. Because you don't want the baby to hurt her. That's what the dog. I'm not worried about hurting the baby.
The baby is she don't know her baby strength yet.
Exactly.
She was already swung, and I was like, "Oh, she almost knocked that dog head off."
She might break that dog's arm on accident, thinking it's a toy.
But yeah,
that's adorable. I love it.
It is kind of adorable, but I wanted a bigger dog.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
See, this is the thing. Okay. Small dogs aren't bad. They're just cats you have to take outside. That sucks, and that kind of sucks in my opinion. Like at least big dogs, you can play with them like more,
aggressively.
Aggressively. You can have more fun with them. They can become guard dogs. They can train, because small dogs don't fucking train well at all. They just don't. They're the most stubborn things ever. You could train a bigger dog. It's so much more you could do with a bigger dog, but with a small dog, it's a cat that you just have to take outside at that point.
Yeah, she already potty trained.
Good. And a yap. I can't stand when they yap.
Oh yeah. Hopefully she don't do no barking.
I know. Good luck, bro.
Bark yet. And all the dogs I've had weren't barkers.
I know. So. Yeah, that's so. Well, at least Princess, I knew.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other one. What was the other one name again? Forget.
Tank. We had Prince.
Yep, Prince. There it is. He was a small dog.
A dog named Gizmo.
No, Gizmo was a small dog, right?
Gizmo was small. Prince was small. But Tank and Princess were big.
Yeah. I love Princess. We loved each other. She was the best. She was the GOAT. Anyway.
She definitely was. Oh my goodness. All right.
Well, congratulations, brother.
How have you been, brother?
I've been pretty good, man. I've been pretty good. Like I said, the stream has been fantastic. So shout out to y'all for coming back after my little hiatus, my mental break.
We was coming back anyway.
For sure. Monday night at midnight or 11 actually, CST. I'm streaming Hogwarts Legacy. The launch. So we're gonna pop off on that. I already got my house and my wand and stuff. I already did it on the Wizarding World. Me and Legal said we're gonna make it so where whatever we get when we take our test, we gotta keep. So no changing it. So I'm Gryffindor with I think beach wand or something like that.
Did you want to be Gryffindor?
Not really, but you
don't seem like a Gryffindor kind of person.
No, it was just strange, but I got it, so I'm with it. My 14-inch wand. No, it's a 12-incher. It's a 12-incher, but it ain't about the size. It's about how you use it. Anyway, yeah, I'm doing all right though. I'm doing pretty good. Let's get into the anime. Tell, what was your episode of the week, brother?
My episode of the week was Vinland Saga. Yeah, I actually really enjoyed it.
I just drank some water and it spilled because he said Vinland Saga.
Yeah, Vinland Saga. I enjoyed this episode. Just, I guess I like some trauma in my anime.
I guess. It was still pretty lame to me. I said on Twitter, I'm like, man, y'all got to stop talking about these shows like it popped off. Vinland Saga did not pop off. It had a small moment that was still very just okay. But we're going to talk about that in the spoiler half of the show more so. I need Thorfinn back, man. That's all I need. I need Thorfinn back. And it looks like he's coming back at least. So I'm expecting by the time y'all hearing this, the newest episode will be out. So I'm expecting him to be popping off, or at least be some sense of regular. So I could be, misspeaking now while the latest episode isn't out yet. Remember, we record on Sunday. This goes live on Tuesday. The episode goes up. The Vinland Saga episode goes up on Monday. So we're a little behind, but hopefully it's back. Thorfinn's back, and I'm able to enjoy it like I did season 1.
Yeah, active again.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be fire. That's gonna be fire. I know he is. I know he's gonna get active. He has to, right? He's Thorfinn. He's the GOAT. One of the GOATs anyway. Okay, my episode of the week. It's kind of hard to not stick with the same thing I've been sticking with for literally the entire time because that episode was brilliant. But I'm gonna try to avoid that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
No, don't do that. Give us your episode of the week.
The Angel Next Door spoils me riding.
All right, that's what I was expecting.
This anime has been perfect. So far, it's honestly, I'm feeling like it's a 10 out of 10 so far. It's like, it's so steady with its progress, but the progress is massive. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. It probably doesn't seem like it makes sense because how are you steady? But massive steady progress is like, I guess is a thing. So it's definitely progressed in a way that I absolutely love, and meeting his father makes our main character makes even more sense. We're gonna talk about that in the spoiler half. So let me chill. I'm getting too excited. But yeah, Angel Next Door spoils me riding. Definitely episode of the week this week. And then I guess it'll be time for we gotta bring back the spotlight, since this time we're not going to be able to talk more in depth about anime, since we have a topic of the show today, which I can't wait to discuss later. But Tell, what do you bring to the spotlight?
All right, so spotlight for me, and I feel like I've talked about this several times already, probably the last 3 episodes already, but the magical revolution of the reincarnated princess, bro. Yeah, bro. Just another really good, solid episode.
You and your Shojin.
Hey, it is what it is, man. Because like, I'm going in, I didn't even know what the I guess I didn't know what the genre or what the subgroups were supposed to be. I just went in thinking isekai anime. I'm watching it, and I really enjoy it. And this episode pushed the characters' understanding and kind of like relationship further. Yeah. And then we got a really good battle. I don't know if you watched. Have you watched it?
No. Oh, of course not. I'm not a Shojin guy.
And it pushed this battle even further. Our main character, she, and I mean, I guess it's kind of spoiler, but not too heavy on the spoilers. Our main character is trying to be able to use magic because in this world she was reincarnated and she can't use magic. She's finding a way to use magic. She ends up fighting a dragon and gets cursed. Fighting the dragon. Really good episode, but everything that transpires in between is what really, like, I would say, gelled everything together with this episode. Because the fighting, to me, great. But it's more about like everything that happens in between there to see our characters build up and what we got there. We dropping slight spoilers on this or no?
No. We're just going to general surface level detail.
This anime is all about the relationship development, and what's really cool about the way these develop is it puts our like side main character in this position where she has no choice but to break outside of her shell, if that makes sense. You stop trying to be a queen and just be whoever you want to be. She was told that she was gonna be raised to be a queen. She was told that she's gonna live this life. She with this girl, she can't be queen. So you have to figure out, what do you actually want to be instead of exactly what your parents told you want to be. And it's been really good. I think it has great message and everything for us. So once again, like the third week in a row, watch The Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and the Genius Lady. Great anime.
For me, I'm going to, now again, this is not fair to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because this is not the best show. It's not going to be the highest of quality. It's not going to be the highest of budget anime. I definitely don't think everybody will like it if they watch it, but I'm going to spotlight it because it's something that I think deserve it. Again, it's coming from a brand new studio. Studio has zero experience. This is their first animation, and it's Cloud Hearts. The studio is Cloud Hearts with the Ice Blade Sorcerer shall rule the world. This is while this show is, again, very low budget, and it's your typical high school battle anime, it's something about it that's endearing. Maybe because it's a main character who's Ray White, who's the main character, who's very mature, very, very mature. And it's like, again, what you talked about with Lisa, or the Wonder of Anime, when she was mentioning how some of those tropes that kind of get annoying after a while, after you've seen so much of it in different anime. And in high school battle anime, we got the trope of the main character who's very bad with girls, or who's really liked by these girls and who kind of messes up a lot by like accidentally touching a breast or something like that, or some kind of weird, awkward fan service that makes the interaction with the characters weird for comedic purposes. This show is not like that at all. This show is about the growth of our main character in a different kind of way, because he's basically a kid in a 45-year-old man body, essentially, not literally, obviously, but essentially. And his maturity is something that he's wrestling with, and I love it. It's a show that's very endearing. Again, the budget is not there, the animation's not great, but it's still a good show. I think that warrants some spotlight, because I think Cloud Hearts deserve it. As their first piece of work, they're not doing a bad job. And I just wanted to give them their flowers, I guess, in appreciation for them trying.
So this most recent episode actually must have been pretty good for you. Huh?
Yes, absolutely.
See him do his thing, and then
absolutely
his backstory, a little bit more of his backstory, because we
loved his backstory. His backstory is fire. And again, the characters are, not only is he great, but the characters around him, his supporting cast, is also really good too. So, which is very important in the battle high school anime, you know?
Right. Because it can get very childish, like you said, very fast, very immature. This is a whole different spin on it. Like I said, I'm gonna give them their flowers. They deserve it. So before we get into the topic, though, I gotta ask you a question that I just kind of thought about right now. So last week, that's what I was looking at my phone for. I knew I was looking at my phone for something, because I was listening to you. What happened was I was listening to you. I'm like, oh, let me go to my phone and check this first. And I was listening to you, and I threw myself off because I was hearing what you were saying. But last week we created the quintessential, the 11 anime that you should be watching this season. So I'm going to ask you this. Taking a look back at the list, I have it put up here. Is there anything in your list you want to move, get rid of, replace, adjust, or is it set in stone? Those are your 5 that you feel like people should be watching. And for a reminder, Tales 5 was The Magical Revolution, Sugar Apple Fairy Tale. Tomotan is a girl reborn to master the blade, and Buddy Daddies. Mine was Chilling in My 30s. Farming in Another World, Campfire Cooking, Trigun was an honorable mention, so that's in there. Ice Guy, and his Kai League, and Angel Next Door, Spoiled Means Rotten. If I changed anything, it would be to put the Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess in there. That would be it, and move out what's that called? The Reborn and Master the Blade.
I had a feeling you would say that.
That's what I would switch out, because Reborn and Master the Blade isn't bad, but it's way more comedic than Magical Revolution. So it's way more comedic. So I liked a little bit more serious tone of the Magical Revolution. So I probably would switch those two out. Other than that, like barring, like I said, the obvious must watches, like I said, like Nier, Trigun, stuff that I feel like you have to watch because you shouldn't be missing that in the first place. Yeah. I don't switch it out.
But the point of us making a list was to give people a set amount to watch, you know, not to just say, okay, you're watching this anyway, but you should also add this. We want people to be not overwhelmed by the amount of anime it is this season. You know what I'm saying? So when we did our poll, they said they can do between 5 and 10. We end up getting 11 because I refuse to let Trigun not be in his list because I do think that's one it deserves to be. But I do think like these are the ones we feel you have to watch. Even if you like not count. The only thing I say we don't count for that is My Hero or Blue Lock or shit that was running last season, right? So those obviously don't count. But having the quintessential 11 or 10 that we have, I think is really good. I still think it could have been better though. Like missing the reincarnated as a world's strongest exorcist in another world still bothers me that that's not in there. And then looking at my list, there's nothing I really want to replace with that because I feel like my list is actually really, really good. It has something for almost everybody. Yeah. Except for it doesn't have any hardcore battle shows, I guess. Yeah. That's the one thing I would say our list is missing.
There's not a ton of hardcore battle stuff this season, I don't think, anyway. I think everything is battle and story / world building. So there's going to be way more contextual to look at instead of just fighting.
That's true.
So if I'm looking at my list, like realistically, Reborn to Master the Blade, because Magic Revolution is already on my list. So if I'm taking out Reborn to Master the Blade, I would add the Reborn, the Strongest Exorcist one. But that'd be the only thing, like I said, worth switching out for me because everything else I feel like has not moved or shifted at all. But the Strongest Exorcist one, I mean, to me, it's like right there. I would say it's probably better than Reborn to Master the Blade, but just barely.
I think it's getting better. It's doing nothing but getting better. I avoided any season 2s because if you haven't seen season 1, there's no point in me even telling you to, hey, go to season 2 and watch this. Like the By the Grace of God's 2, really good show, but I couldn't dare put that in there. I will say though, I'm still sad that we couldn't add Kubo. Won't Let Me Be Invisible because that one is fantastic.
Yeah, that episode was pretty fun.
That show was really good. Poor main character though. Yeah.
Still very funny though to see everything he goes through for that. But yeah, I don't know, bro, because I think I do think they're both very solid. That's why I think we picked very contrary things. Like none of our stuff is similar.
Yeah. Except for not adding Trigun. We had to put that in there though. We had to.
Yeah, like, I agree. Trigun is a must. Nier would be a must.
Yeah, if it wasn't delayed.
Yeah.
I don't think that shit's come back to like March, so which sucks.
But I am still very surprised you don't have Spy Classroom on yours.
Nah, I wouldn't. Because it's okay. It's not a must watch though. It's definitely okay though. It's slowing down for me though. All right. Now
it'll pick back up though.
Yeah, I believe it. Now it's time for us to, and again, sorry if y'all hear my voice cracking or anything like that. Those 3 days of streaming really put a number on me, but I'm trying to hydrate as much as possible throughout this show. So
yes, sir.
Bear with me. But Tell, I'm gonna throw it to you, brother, because you got the topic of the show today. Very interesting topic. I can't wait to talk about this one.
So basically, following on the heels of the announcement of a live One Piece adaptation on Netflix.
Sorry, before you say that, which is even before that though, because you brought it up through a fucking brilliant way when you talked about the Cowboy Bebop article that you saw on IGN.
Yeah, so basically what it is essentially Cowboy Bebop creator said that the live action Cowboy Bebop is not Cowboy Bebop in his eyes because It did not feel like his vibe.
Right.
It did not feel. He said all he saw was the opening action into the casino, and he had to stop there because as soon as he saw it, he said, "This is not Cowboy Bebop," and he doesn't feel like it can be Cowboy Bebop unless he was involved in it. Mm-hmm. And as an artist, I can entirely understand that. So, like, more or less, my question is, how do we make a redeemable or like of high quality standard live action adaptation? Like, what does it actually take to make that happen, make it worthwhile? And I mean, I'm thinking like maybe two things from each of us to kind of really say, let's sit down and look at this and say, boom, this is what you need to make this adaptation actually worth watching.
Okay. Yeah. So the one answer I would give to that is to not do it, because anime is that adaptation. Anime is the reason why anime exists. It's anime for a reason. We don't need a live action, period. Point blank, full stop. But to entertain the topic, because I like the topic idea. Original creator, okay? Obviously, the original creator must be involved in some kind of capacity. Let them direct a couple of episodes. Let them set the direction of how it's going to function as far as pacing goes, knowing that you have a very limited amount of episodes with a very limited amount of budget, i.e. with this One Piece. The One Piece is probably going to be bad. Not going to hold you. Even though they say, even though they say Oda is involved in some way, I don't believe it. I don't believe it to be good. I don't think it can be good. But I think you got to find. Okay, what did I say? The first one. What was the first one? The creator has to be
the creator involved. Yeah.
Okay. And do you want to go with your first one, or you want me? I can go to my second one real quick if you want.
Yeah, let's hit your second one.
Okay, and my second one will have to be. It will have to be. Has to have. Okay, so if you have the creator involved, maybe he is writing the script or the story plots or the pacing of how everything's going to go. You have to have a fan of the series that has directed something live action or TV show in real life, or, you know, a real live show, but they have to be a fan of the series that they're adapting. You know what I mean? Like, for perfect example, this goes back to our Patreon episode, how you had Greg Mizan, who is a fan of Neil Druckmann's work. Now, he's not a gamer. He's not an avid gamer, but he's played or seen The Last of Us enough to know what exactly that entails and how to adapt that. And he's a great director, a great showrunner, because he did Chernobyl, the HBO series as well. And that show was phenomenal. So like having somebody with talent that's also a fan is very important as far as like showrunner goes. Because I feel like if you don't, you will end up with just Cowboy Bebop again, which is somebody just trying to take it and they're trying to like spin it in a way. I'm like, I'm gonna make this my own because I know that anime is different than live action. So I'm gonna try to put my spin on it. And your spin isn't gonna work for what the anime has already perfected.
Right. So like my to dive a little bit deeper into like one of yours, like you said, you want the original creator involved, right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, in terms of involvement, how involved does the original creator need to be to actually make it feel like alive? Like, this is the real thing? Yeah, because like you talk about like Dragon Ball GT, right? That wasn't the original creator's work. People loved it. People also absolutely hated it, right? So how involved do you have to be with the creator for it to actually be considered a decent work of art?
Well, the creator created it. So if the creator is involved, I'm sure you run it by the creator before you make it public or live or whatever. And
like, should the creator be writing the script?
Yes. Because the creator knows, well, maybe, okay. No. You give, okay. All right, let me rephrase that. You give the creator a script from a showrunner. The showrunner takes what he knows from the show. That's why I said the showrunner has to be a fan of the series in order to adapt the anime, adapt the show. So with that being said, you take the showrunner takes the script to the creator. The creator says, okay, no, yes. the showrunner tells him, okay, well, this is the allotted time we have. This is the amount of episodes we have. This is the amount of progression I think we would need as a fan of your work. I think we would need to get to. How can we get there? You know, from this. And then he kind of puts his, I guess to TLDR it, harmonious synergy with the showrunner and the creator, I guess would be a better way of putting it, right? Like they have to have complete synchronization with everything they're doing, or else it just won't work. It won't work, period.
So I entirely agree with that, right? Because if the creator is involved, he knows the personality of the characters to write down. And
Yes.
part of what I wanted to, what I was going to say was that you need to actually capture the personality of these characters, right? And not
that's a good
just
one.
say like, hey, I'm Goku, I want to fight. No, we don't want that in our live
Well,
action
that's
series.
kind of Goku, but
Yeah, but we want like an
How
actual,
Goku is.
we want our characters to actually feel like that character, like Light Yagami from Death Note, the live action one, did not feel like Light. Even though, I mean, he wasn't technically Light Yagami, but he didn't feel like Light. He didn't feel like the character we had already known to love and hate and everything like that, right?
Right.
So you really have to capture that personality, because if you can't do that adequately, then what's the point? Right? Like what's the entire point? Because that character don't feel right. And literally that's what a lot of people are tied to, is the personality of that character, especially when you adaptation or adapting shows like One Piece. People love Luffy because they love his just like, I don't care personality, but also gonna throw hate personality. They love him for that. They also gonna love other characters for their more developed personality. So it depends, right? So yeah, that's one of the things that I was gonna put, but also like one of the things you talked about was budget. And while budget shouldn't be the biggest thing, you can't adapt an anime that's been running for like, let's say 1,000 episodes or let's say even 24 episodes, try to crunch it into 8 episodes and say, we're going to use this budget for this. Right. Like, I feel like they have to adapt, or not adapt, but allocate that budget properly. What's the most important part for this show? Because yes, we need the music and the ambiance, but you might be able to cut back on some music and make sure that everything surrounding those characters, the backgrounds that are amplifying what those characters are saying or feeling, are just there. So I think that the allocation of the budget could help in terms of actually laying the groundwork to make us care and at least visually pleased with what we're seeing, if it's going to be live action and not anime.
Yeah. This is kind of, I mean, what you said is perfect, because capturing the essence of the character is what made Cowboy Bebop fail, because they failed to do that. I will say they got Jet somewhat okay. Jet was pretty cool. Jet seemed like he was more involved with being true to what the show was. Spike and Faye, not so much. Spike was okay, but it's just, he was too, I don't know, it just didn't feel as, I guess,
as confident.
Yeah, like Steve Bloom. We didn't have that Steve Bloom aura to him. You know what I mean?
Spike is very confident, and he did not have that same aura or level of confidence in playing Spike.
It was very weird. It was very, very weird. And you got to get Luffy right. What do you think about, I mean, the casting? I think it's also should have been one of us should have mentioned, I guess, too.
Yeah, because I mean, you look at the Super Mario live adaptation.
Boy,
I actually think that cast is gonna work.
I agree.
But that's wild, because it seems like they always cast, and I don't think it's necessary to cast like famous actors, like people who are very well known. But you have to cast something in a sense of like, these people match or have the range to match these characters. Because I think that's one of the things that people are forgetting about, is that anime characters are fictional characters, and you actually have to have and I mean, a lot of the shows that you're watching, like Spies and stuff, they're fictional characters, but they're based in real life.
That's true.
Cowboy Bebop is not based in real life, no matter how real the tone is. It's not based in real life. And One Piece is not based in real life. So when you get characters who are acting out these roles, they have to actually have that range to give us that I'm larger than real life, but even if it's grounded, I'm also still grounded in real life. Like that's an actual tone you have to hit.
No, that's a fact. That's a big fact. You know what I'm worried about happening?
What's that?
I'm worried about the live action getting costumified. I know that's not a word. I just made it up, but you know exactly what I mean when I say that.
Yeah.
when they look kind of ridiculous with these crazy looking wigs to try to be as accurate as it possibly can. You know how Japanese live action like straight to DVD stuff come out in Japan. They got straight to DVD Naruto versions of stuff and weird Dragon Ball Z shit in Japan that are like that's live action that nobody over here really knows about, but it's there. And they got like plays and shit where they do those full costume sets and wigs and like the spiky hairs and the shit that looks spray painted on. I'm praying that it doesn't look like that, because that will be concerning. Like I seen a little screenshot poster that they had. It didn't look too bad though. So,
would you rather have more CGI or costumify?
Which is a new word. No CGI. You don't need CGI for the looks. I don't know.
I mean, I guess that's what I'm thinking about when I think of CGI.
Real? Because I'm looking on Twitter right now. I'm looking at this poster. I don't know if this is not real. Okay.
It's the one with his fist up in the air?
No. It's the other one I saw. It doesn't look good. But it's a fan made thing, so that's probably why. Yeah. The one with his fist up in the air looks really good. Like it captures the essence of what One Piece is, but I don't know. What you think about the poster?
The Photoshop job is horrible.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, where's that light actually hitting the front of the ship coming from? Because the light is on the back. The ship, you shouldn't even be able to see nothing on the Going Merry.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Oh, I'm talking about the picture where there is all five of them and Luffy got both his hands up.
I don't think that's real.
Okay.
Yeah,
I hope not.
That's fake. That's another artist. That's another fan made thing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the only real poster we have is the one with his fist up and the hat on.
Oh, okay.
Setting sail in 2023.
All right, yeah, Photoshop job ain't that bad.
Yeah.
I was about to go in, bro.
No, I was about to turn on antagonist in a minute.
I'm like, where's the lightning source coming from? But yeah,
I'll tell you what though, it's getting me excited. I want to watch it.
I almost feel the same that you feel about how The Last of Us. And y'all can go to Patreon to hear what Polo's thoughts on that were. But I almost feel exactly like that.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Do we need it?
Mm-mm. Nope. That's exactly what I said at the start of this. Like, to be fair, my thoughts on live action period is no.
It's already been done, right?
It's already been done. That's the reason why anime exists, is because the stories that these artists want to tell can be done in live, right? Because you got powers, you got situations like you could do slice of life perfectly fine. Like you pick up the Angel Next Door spoils me rotten, you could do that. Right. It probably won't be as cool as what it is now. Maybe, I don't know. But it's like, you don't really need to do this because it already exists in a form that's perfect for the medium that it's set in. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Did you see they announced 2025 summertime rendering live action?
Oh God,
that's cap. I'm just talking shit.
Yo, shout out to everybody that's finally picking it up, man. Did it finally come out somewhere or something?
It's on Disney Plus, I think now.
Oh, about time.
I think it might be on Hulu, but like it's still
if you got Disney Plus, you got Hulu or whatever. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I'm on Twitter and I'm like, all I see is a bunch of people talking about watching sometime rendering. I'm like, oh, now y'all about to see what we were fucking singing its praises for 25 weeks or whatever it was. Yeah, I think it was 25 weeks straight.
Right. I don't action of that, but it's so good.
No, it's so good. They better not do a live action. Just leave it as it is. Anybody of all ages can watch Summertime Rendering, and I guarantee you'll be entertained.
Not all ages. If you're too young, it might be too much.
That's true. That's true. Too much blood and violence and a lot of dialogue.
Yeah.
A lot of easily missable stuff too. That's for damn sure. But I'm so glad that it's finally getting its flowers too. All right, Tel. Closing thoughts on live action.
I almost feel like I like yours. Don't do it. But realistically, there's some you can do. Like you can do Ippo or something like that,
yes,
right? Like you can do stuff like that. You can even do Kuroko no Basket.
Mm-hmm.
You can probably do Haikyuu.
That'll be a little tougher, but yeah.
But let's stay away from the stuff that's a little bit too fantastical.
Yep.
Because obviously we have fantastical like actual TV like shows and stuff, but it seems like when it comes to the anime version of this fantastic stuff, and it might just be American live adaptation. It's not, because I've seen the Japanese live adaptations too.
Absolutely,
they're not good. So it's kind of like just chill on that for a little bit. Give us a little time. Let us let the technology get there before y'all start trying to do that to everything.
Yeah, what's funny is that Netflix chose a very weird time to do this. Yeah, they said it's set in sale in 2023, so it's coming out sometime this year. But all amongst the time of them talking about stopping the password sharing, which is going to lose, like what they say, 100 million of their customer base. So like, bro, you about to tank. So you about to put all this budget into a show that should be, what's the word I'm looking for? Animated with the utmost respect as far as like CGI goes, and you're gonna need a lot of it with all those moves and shit that happens in this show, from Luffy's to anybody else who has a gum fruit. Like, it's gonna be a pain in the ass and very expensive, or it's gonna be $60 million in total and look like shit. So like, you know, one of the two. I don't know why I said 60 million. That's a video game numbers, but you know what I mean. A lower budget, but
I don't say 60 million. That's definitely video game.
That's definitely video game numbers. I got video games on the brain because I was listening to a podcast before we started this podcast. But
which one?
Sacred Symbols, the PlayStation podcast. Anyway, very good podcast. I just like, I don't know, man. It makes me want to go back and finish my One Piece watch. I got to 500 and something. But remember when I flipped the coin, I picked up Boruto again, so I got to pick up more of that shit.
How far are you on Boruto?
Good question. Do I even want to answer it? I'm going to answer it. I'm going to answer it anyway.
Episode 202?
No, I wish it was that little. 253 is where I stopped.
Okay, see, there you go.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. I shouldn't be spending too much time with this, but I have in the hopes of it getting better. But yeah, I'm gonna continue Boruto for whatever stupid reason. It's not good. It's not good. All right, Tel. Let's roll the random number generator to find out what year recommendation we're gonna give this year.
I just wrote it, but I have a question. Are we going to 2022?
I'm sorry?
Are we going to the year 2022?
Oh shit, good question. Yes, because I think I did that last week.
Okay, because I got 2022.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. Recommendation roulette landed on 2022. It's actually really cool. He said, I got a question. Oh, yeah, that's funny.
Just have to make sure.
That's valid. That's a valid point. All right. So for 2022, a lot of choices, very recent, obviously. And for recommendation roulette.
Okay.
Something that's not that popular.
I'm gonna let you go first.
Of course. I'm browsing the list as we speak.
Right.
You know what? I got it. Because it wasn't that popular. And it's gonna sound funny because we tried to make it as popular as we possibly could, but it wasn't that popular. And I'm gonna go with Parallel World Pharmacy.
Yep.
It wasn't that talked about. It wasn't that widely known. But I do think it again deserves its flowers. Check out Parallel World Pharmacy, a great isekai anime with great characters and very intense situations. And if you like medicine or doctor or Grey's Anatomy, no, it's not Grey's Anatomy, but you know what I mean. Check that out. And my tale.
All right. So I got I'm gonna go with Black Summoner.
Ooh, that was good too.
I think that's another one that we was trying to put on, and some people were watching it, but
that's a great one.
It just kind of got looked over. But we love that main character and how he carried out his actions. It was good, man.
Very, very much so. Very, very underrated isekai for sure. 71 on Annie list. Parallel War Pharmacy got a 73. It's wild, man. The disrespect. Actually disgusting.
For sure.
Definitely better than that. And that's not even just saying that from our particular tastes. These are actually really good shows with great stories, fantastic pacing, even better characters, like through and through great shows. All right. We're about to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're spoiling episode 18 of My Hero Academia. Episode what of Angel Next Door? Episode 5 of Angel Next Door and episode 4 of Villain Saga. So we'll be right back after these. Welcome back to episode 190 of Mic Check Waifu. Make sure you're following us on all of our social medias at Mic Check Waifu on Twitter and at Mic Check Waifu and everything else, including our YouTube. Go to youtube.com/@Mic Check Waifu to see the video version. See, they come out a week later. They come out on, I think I'm gonna start doing Fridays for those, Saturdays for the after story, and then Sundays we record. So that's how I'm releasing the videos. Make sure you check that out. Check us out there, the video versions. Again, where you can see Tails' cute little puppy, and the fact that we're matching t-shirts, which is weird. Now, spoiler talk. This is full spoilers for episode 18 of My Hero Academia. This is now my new favorite episode of the entire series or season.
Oh man, here we go.
Didn't have any action in it. Didn't have any
come on,
crazy secrets, any crazy anything. But it was just so well directed, so well paced, such great storytelling, and the way they told it, it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal, and what it did, that made it much more important or much more impactful. It was the word I meant actually. Was the fact that it makes me look forward to the next episode so much. Not in a blue ball kind of, I'm a what they call it? What do we call it? Why can't I? Cliffhanger. Yeah, not in a blue ball cliffhanger way, but in a way that's like, yo, get excited for next episode. I'm really excited for next episode. I'm really looking forward to next episode more than anything because of the pure storytelling that we got, this pacing and direction was so beautiful, unbelievably done. Even though there was no action, there was enough for me to be like, oh yeah, now we're getting some repercussions and progression. And even though we have been getting that the last episodes, it just didn't feel as good as this. You know what I mean?
So that's what I was trying to see. So what about this felt better? Was it the conversation with the previous predecessors that kind of was it the fact that this has been built up since season 2 basically, or more or less almost season 1?
Dude, it's hard to say that because no, I wasn't even thinking about the fact of the build up. Again, I guess the conversation wasn't really the main thing. I guess it was, but it's not why I was so captivated. It was just the way it was done, man. We kind of went right into it. It was just a fucking flow that was unbelievably tasteful and good. And then the conversation was fantastic. It really was between all of them, especially when Shigaraki's grandmother, I don't know her name. Excuse me. I don't know her name. Yeah. Okay. That her was talking to Deku and telling him are you ready to kill him? Because we felt the fact that you felt like you wanted to save him. And she kind of went into that. And when he started explaining it, it was so nice The only thing that missed in that particular scene, it was the perfect fucking opportunity to just put in like the slow version of You Say Run that we've heard hundreds of times before. But like the slowest version of You Say Run at that point during his speech would have been so fucking amazing, man. Yeah. I don't know what's up with My Hero now and not using that song for the last 3 seasons. Well, they used it. Huh?
Yeah, it's probably a problem somewhere.
I don't know. I don't know what happened because it seems to be after that overhaul fight, they use it less and less and less. They used it like after the overhaul fight, they used it with the All Might and Deku conversation. And then it was kind of like very sparsely put in, but that would have been a perfect opportunity to lay it in while he was talking and then just have the, it would have been amazing. It would have been so perfect. They did have some music playing, but it wasn't as good. It wasn't as impactful as what it would have been if it was You Say Run. You don't even have to go to the drop of You Say Run. You know how they always do the beginning part of You Say Run so cleanly. And again, the slowest version of that, which we've heard hundreds of times before, if you hear it now, you would be like, oh, I know what he's talking about. But if they did that, it would have been just perfect. But again, it was just a great episode, all in all. Again, with the excitement that it gave me for next week, that truly is what makes it so special. Because the fact that it gave me so much excitement for next week without blue balling me. Mm-hmm. I appreciate that so much. It's possible, Shonen, to do that, by the way.
And it's because it cut it off, right? It basically ended with that and said the beginning of the final saga. Mm-hmm. Right. So more or less, it just, there was no room for that blue ball.
And it wasn't just that too. It was the fact that they talked about how they went to the Endeavor Best Genius and Hawks press conference too. And they used, the Japanese voices, I get so confused. It sounded like, what's her name? The crazy chick. Vampire Toga? Chick. Yeah, it sounded like Toga. But was it Uraraka that was talking? I can't tell their voices apart when it comes to the Japanese subs, which is why I used to like dub so much because I can actually separate the characters. But I couldn't tell which one was talking.
I think it was Uraraka.
Okay. Because I know Uraraka was talking about the Deku part. It sounded like Toga for the Endeavor part. Hard to tell. I digress. It don't matter. Actually, no, it doesn't matter actually, because if either one of them did it, it would have worked perfectly fine. When they were talking about that and kind of going over it with that narration, it was brilliant. It was like, that's the perfect way of doing it. Like just Endeavor was explaining everything, and you got the Hawk speech come in, and you got the Best Genius talking about what we're gonna do, and Endeavor like, yo, what is that gonna do now though? What do you want me to do? You want me to mope? Basically, what are you saying? No, right. I can't. I just have to atone. I just have to get better. This is what we're gonna do. And then boom, straight to the point.
Don't have time to dilly dally and bullshit. He got to get active, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's my responsibility now. It's my responsibility to fix it. So it is what it is. And guess what? Hawks was like, look, I did what I did because if I didn't do what I did, you probably wouldn't be alive. The rest of you motherfuckers probably wouldn't be alive if I kept twice alive. So with that being said, sorry, I did what I had to. If you can't forgive me, I understand.
So what bothered me about this episode wasn't it, I feel like all of that you said is 100% on point. And I understand that this would happen in the real world too, but the civilians talking about something, it's your job, to make sure that we're safe, blah, 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 all this stuff. That's true. That's 100% true. But you talking about your heroes, and not every hero is your 10 hero. Not every hero. But I'm saying you're talking about, so like the people who are complaining that it's the hero's job to keep them safe and everything like that.
Okay.
It's not, every hero is not going to be a 1 to 10 hero. And we looking at some of the worst cases of, villain outbreaks in general, right? This is technically the worst case scenario for villain outbreaks, because not only are villains doing whatever they want to, but the civilians are also they're in a state of panic where they're doing whatever they want to or feel like whatever they have to protect themselves. Right. And that quite literally puts the heroes in a worse position because before the heroes get there to protect them, they're already fighting the villains. Villains and the civilians are dying. At this point, it's like, how can I protect you if you don't even give me a chance to? Right. And that's kind of like wow, like I said, Endeavor, you can feel whatever you want about Endeavor, but that's a thing that's real. Like, it's hard to actually think of and I'm not like police. It's gonna be some scenarios where police go out and they try and save people and they can't save every single person. It's just gonna be a fact. Like if a police is in the shootout to save people at a bank and one person dies, I'm sorry that person died, and I didn't want that casualty, but they did their best to make sure that no one else died, Right. So I feel like you got to have some empathy for that person too, because the hero, the person who is the presumed hero here, they have to live with that guilt that they failed at what they said they were going to do, So
you're saying basically the part that pissed you off was the crowd going kind of against what the heroes were saying, kind of like trying to point out as many flaws as they possibly can instead of accept their reconciliation.
Yeah, and I get it though. Like, that's what I'm saying. I understand though, because
I was about to say, welcome to the real world.
That's reality, That's how it is. Like, my uncle is a firefighter. He pulls me out of a building and couldn't save the other person. What people are gonna be mad. It just is what it is. You can't stop that because that's how people are gonna mourn and whatnot. But it's just like sometimes I guess you got to sit back and take a step back and look and say, I understand the bigger picture because my perspective is smaller because what I personally care about was harmed or something. Or
No, I mean, you think about it, it's super petty, but that's humanity, unfortunately. Like I got the perfect example for you. This game called Atomic Hearts, okay? Game called Atomic Hearts is coming out February 15th. It was created by some Russian developers, okay? Very Bioshocky, very System Shocky. Great looking game. Atomic Hearts looks phenomenal. But you got people saying that if you buy Atomic Hearts, you're supporting Russia invasion of Ukraine. No, that's not the people of Russia ain't got nothing to do with their oligarchy. Their fucking dictatorship. They didn't choose that war. So like, stop. That's society. And unfortunately, what my hero does well is captures the society of a world where there's heroes, there's villains, and there's the people in between. And unfortunately, a lot of fucking people die. Like the reporter was talking about, my mom lost her house. Yeah, your mom lost her house, but you didn't say anything about her life. She's still alive. Mm-hmm. So, like, we did what we could. And guess what? Like Hawk said, if Twice would have survived, we would have lost twice as many people. Pun intended. He didn't say that, but I'm saying that because that's exactly what it probably would have been. And like, in reality, and my hero reality, of course.
Right.
But like, I absolutely, that's more of what I loved about this episode was that stuff, because it captures the humanity of humanity, which is kind of tough to do in an anime, because you tend to forget that, you got these super powered people blowing up buildings, i.e. Dragon Ball Z. People get blown the fuck up. Buildings get blown the fuck up. And like, there's just no repercussions because Dragon Balls, like, it's just there's no consequences for the shit that happened in Dragon Ball Z. It's probably why I hate it so much. Right. But there's our real life in quotations, repercussions to actions that have been taken from the villain side and the hero side and the people in between. I fucking absolutely love that, man. I absolutely love that about this show. I'm so proud of what they've done with this pacing. Outside of the last 2 episodes needing to be flipped, this has been the perfect season of My Hero, in my opinion. Not perfect as in 10 out of 10 My Hero. Mic check waifu scale 10, right. But like for My Hero. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So I think that's an important piece to get out. Loved it though. Gut check. Deku about to pop the fuck off. I've seen in the next time shit, Deku basically turned into that shit I've seen everybody post on Twitter, which is very spoilery. Thanks a lot, Twitter. But he got that little look on him. He got that swag in him. So I'm looking forward to what it's about to be, I'm looking forward to what it's about to be. He about to pop off though. That's what I say. About to be some. About to what's that? What was his name? Muscle Man. What's his name?
Muscle.
That wasn't just Muscle. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. It's about to be another muscle fight, but it ain't about to go the same way it went last time. That's what I truly believe. Muscle about to get his shit gassed. And I think I saw All Might in the Batmobile in the next time preview too. So All Might gonna pull up.
Bill.
Yeah, All Might gonna be the his chauffeur in the Batmobile. And they about to get shit rocking.
The Genius Mobile.
I'm looking forward.
I saw that the first time. I was like, I hate this dude so much.
Yeah, Best Genius is the corniest yet strongest motherfucker ever. I love it,
bro.
I love
It's
it.
ridiculous. And if you just wear clothes, he got you.
You're done.
You got a hat on, bro. Your brain is coming out.
You're done. All right, moving on to my favorite show this winter season. Winter anime of the year, in my opinion. The Angel Next Door spoils me rotten.
Off the bat, his parents are the best.
Such the best. His mom is a waifu. His dad is a husbando. His dad is so fucking cool, man.
So cool. Sees exactly what's going on. He like sees it for what it is.
Yes, his dad. At first, I thought it was gonna be some bullshit with his dad. I'm not gonna lie, because it's always some bullshit with a dad in anime, right? Until when he got the text from his dad and he smiled, I'm like, oh, his dad must be his role model. Yeah. So that shit was sweet, man. To see his dad come in and it was verbatim, like you understand from viewing the parents. His mom is a sweetheart, by the way. She's just a fucking just lovable bimbo-y doofus like sweetheart, and I just love her for that. But the dad is like everything our guy is, basically. Right,
but a more adult and mature version of it.
Yes, accurate, man.
Okay. But we do see like some relationship blossoming here, right?
Yes, man. It progresses so well. Sorry.
It is. It's progressing extremely well. It never feels like so. It feels like I'm gonna just say this. It feels like outside sources are trying to push them together, but they're not being rushed in a sense.
Yes, it still feels natural.
It's like people are saying, "You guys look good together." Hey, it would be good to spend more time with you guys, right? Not leaving her out, which is dope because it's like we don't know what her life experience is, and it feels like she is alone a lot. And she does not get left out almost by anybody in these circumstances. Like, especially his parents, his mom, who had just been there a month ago.
Not even, according to him.
Yeah. So excited for them to, be together and come visit. Dad, who hasn't seen him in 6 months, has heard everything about her at this angel, and it's beautiful because it's like the excitement surrounding them is very palpable and feelable. Because everyone is invested in knowing what their relationship is, but they're just trying to figure it out themselves.
Dude, I got this big ass, for those watching the video version, because Till's just spitting and then I'm just letting them cook. I got this big ass smile on my face because everything that he's saying, I keep remembering the show, and I'm just thinking about the moments that's happening. Like when you talk about when you're talking about the Perrys coming in and his dad not seeing him for 6 months. It was just so fucking cool the way he just went up, introduced himself, and it was just like, hey, listen, my son is this, my son is that, but he's a really good guy. It was just bigging up his son, just kind of like nudging him. And she's like, and the angel, she's like, there's something I don't already know. She's like, listen, he's been just great the entire time, basically. And it's just, I don't know, dude, maybe I can say this now. I'm 31. I don't give a fuck. I feel warm and fuzzy inside, bro. I literally just feel warm and fuzzy. It's phenomenal, man. It's one of the best shows ever.
What I do, another thing, a little small thing I love, and she brought it up specifically in this episode because this just shows the attention that she pays to him. Every time he downplays the fact that he doesn't think he can be with her.
Mm.
It isn't the first time he said something about not like, I can't imagine you being with a guy like me, right? Because I think this is actually like the third time he said it. She's like, why are you saying that? You know,
She pop off.
She's not directly saying like, yo, you can be with me. You could be with me. She's not saying that.
Carefully,
but she's
too.
like, stop saying that, bro. She like, why are you downplaying yourself on like what you're capable of and what kind of person you are? I love your personality, or I think you're a really decent person. You know, I think you're better than what you're giving yourself credit for.
You look handsome. You look
Right.
just up.
Giving him all of that, right? And then he's like, you know what? Maybe she's right.
Arigato gozaimasu.
All right. So I'm just like, yo. And the thing is that like, it's not like he missing the hint. It's more like he picks up on the hints and then takes a small step forward.
Yes.
And that's what I love too, is like they're both kind of taking a step forward. She called him a dummy this episode.
That's so cute.
She said, stop teasing me. I was like, yo, bro, you got it. You got it here, right? You got the picture. And he gets it. And he's like, okay, all right, I'm thinking about it.
He's saying everything. He's saying what we all want to say. She's so fucking cute, man. She's just too cute. Everything that we thinking he's saying, and he's thinking it to himself. He's slowly starting to. What I think is happening right now is that he's slowly starting to come to grip with the fact that he's feeling these feelings, right? Where he's learning that she doesn't want to not have this relationship either, but he's also very considerate. Like for instance, with the drink thing, he was like, "Hey, can I try that?" And she was just like, okay. And he tries it, and she's like, well, you were so nervous about the cake thing, bringing up what happened in like what, episode 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
But now you're just willing to do it. And he was like, oh shit, I forgot it. Meaning he just got naturally comfortable, which I think was a huge piece of this puzzle that made it so much more great. Again, this show isn't progressing at a breakneck pace at all. It's not. Mm-hmm. But it's moving at a pace that's so manageable because you notice the things that are that you wouldn't really think about, like with the scene I just mentioned, or him patting her on her head, or when she fell asleep, him rubbing her cheek, and she waking up in the morning talking about, you really like cheeks, huh? Because when I was falling asleep, you touched my cheek, and then this morning you did it again. He's like, wait, you were awake? Like that. Those little moments are progressive ways of them coming really closer together. Like after even the scene that you just talked about with her, she was telling him to stop putting himself down. She got on the couch and she was super embarrassed about it. And she was like, oh, and he was like, what? Don't say it if you're going to be embarrassed. And he look at her and see that's just adorable. It's just, all of it is moving so well. Mm-hmm. I am very curious to see what's going to happen next week though.
Yeah. Yeah, not to mention each episode, like there's only been like 2 episodes where they've been like one day apart, but everything has been like weeks apart, a month apart. So they've been progressing pretty steadily in terms of that as well.
Yeah.
What do you think's gonna happen next week, bro?
Gut check.
Your gut check?
They did a little next time, which I don't think I've ever remember them doing next times before. Do they do next times?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think this is the first time I've seen one, or I've remember one. But it looked like one of his friends was cooking, and she looked at him with her cute little puffy cheeks out, and it probably had something to do with him insulting himself, if I had to guess. But I think what is going to happen is that they're going to kind of try to figure out what this relationship is exactly. And I think what's going to happen is when they talk about it, they're going to talk about it in a way of, let's just keep it how it's going, even though they both want it to be more now. Starting to feel like that's where it's kind of leading. But in a way that's like, I'm like, yeah, we don't want to do that because we want to keep it natural, because we know we got the situation to where she was seen with this boyfriend, quote unquote, during the shrine visit. So they're like, maybe it'd be okay if we pretend to be a couple or something like that. But then they kind of come to the conclusion that no, let's just be friends type shit. And even though they both want something different.
So I'm on board with you. I think that essentially that's going to happen, but I do think that they're going to try and find a way to keep things a little bit more private and intimate between them. You know what I mean? Like because I feel like people are going to be trying to investigate who the angel is with, who is the angel with, who is the and especially because that's a rumor right now. It's getting around. Who is she always talking to? Who is she around? So I think they're gonna try and consolidate that, right, to just be amongst themselves, because anything outside of whatever they're doing is really just a deterrence. It's an issue, right? It's annoying them, and that's not what they're trying to experience. They're trying to just experience each other. So I'm assuming that they're gonna try and find a way to keep people out their business.
I love that. But for how long, right?
I mean, until they figure it out, you know.
Maybe they. Because what is the real reason why they hiding this?
I mean, so there could be a couple of different reasons, right? He seems like a very traditional and proper guy. So one, he probably wants to meet the parents and say, "I want to date your girl."
No, not that. I'm talking about in school.
Oh, in school. I mean, her reputation, and he's not the guy to seek attention. He doesn't want eyes on him in general, and her just being with her innately will draw attention to you. That's not what he wants and or cares about.
Sure. I don't know if that'll be, I think he's just being considerate of her. I don't think it has anything to do with him. I think he just don't want to be seen as, because he already thinks he's not good enough. So you don't want to be seen with a guy like me. I'm not good enough for somebody of your caliber. So I'm going to try my best to keep it a secret. And that's what it's been kind of like throughout this entire show. But I think eventually we got to get to the point where she's like, yo, fuck that. I'm going to come say hi to you in class, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. There's no reason to keep it hidden. The friendship part.
You don't think he's going to take that first step?
No, I think it's going to be all her. I think it has to be, because he's too considerate of her. Way too considerate.
I'm going to take the countermeasure and say he's going to be the one to come up.
Maybe what? It'd be a situation to where she's like,
a dude is like, who you hanging out with? Maybe. I don't know.
Ooh, wait. Don't I don't know that, because that's a bar. Let's dive a little bit deeper into that one. Because when you say it like that, that could be a perfect reason for them to push the relationship even further forward. Or getting hit on by some guy that is very persistent. Right. That's
someone
genius.
No interest in, but thinks that he can have whatever he wants.
Or boom. It just brain blast.
Let's go. Jimmy Neutron.
There's a betrothed. Her family has her betrothed to some fucking other rich guy. Yeah, that face you're making is my face even saying this. Oh my God, this is probably going to be true. This feels like it. This is why she's so,
because she didn't want to be
her against her parents, because they were busy and they're forcing her to marry some guy. He's going to be coming over or something like that. It's going to be a situation to where she ain't coming over his house and she ain't saying nothing to him. And then he tries to make sure she's okay and knocks on the door. This betrothed answers and says, "Hi." And he's like, "Oh, what's her name? Is my hero's here?" Kind of shit. Oh God, I'm just predicting it. I'm like, that's so Raven right now.
This is a way more wholesome anime than that. That's a dark turn almost.
That's exactly probably where it's gonna go, bro.
We don't really want to see that, bro.
Because we don't have that, right? We don't have any conflict yet, and that we still don't know anything about her life, her personal life. We only know his. 99% of what we got has been his parents.
So you think they're gonna introduce the conflict?
Yes, and the conflict is gonna be a betrothed.
Conflict will lead to the climax.
Yep, where he finally confesses how he really feels.
All right, that's plausible.
And we get all bubbly inside because it's gonna be great.
No, I'm gonna let you get bubbly inside because I can't deal with it,
bro. I'm gonna be so mad. Some dude with white hair or some shit who's handsomer than our guy, or he feels it's handsomer than him, and he's like, "Fuck, there's no chance she would even go with me." Oh, I'm fucking writing this show. I'm writing this show myself. Give me the pen.
We in there.
Give me the pen, Saiki. Saki. I had to look up her name. God, she's so good though. She's so fucking good. She's a brilliant original story creator. Might start looking for
Her other stuff?
Yes. That's pretty much is her other stuff. He has one other one that has like one manga chapter. Or one volume, I mean. Yeah, interesting.
Another Slice of Life?
Yep. It looks like it's I can't read the title because it doesn't have an English name, but it looks like it's a comedy, drama, fantasy, romance.
Oh goodness.
Sounds like an isekai.
Yeah.
Okay. And last but not least, man, let's talk about this Vinland Saga. You gotta tell me what did you love about it so much?
A lot of it in general, actually.
Really?
Yeah, and it didn't just have to do with like the storyline, because the progression of what happened in the beginning was okay as fuck. Like that moment where dude looks at him and he kind of sees Askeladd in his eyes and stuff like that. Yeah. The coolest part about that was him envisioning Askeladd. That was it. Because the dude diving at him wasn't really shit to me, and I expected him to react when the name of the episode is called Awakening. Y'all stop giving us spoilers in the name of the episode, but
very valid.
But what I really liked was more about the like after that, right? Because that was more or less like the first 8 minutes, maybe half of the episode. It was
really it.
Yeah, the half after that where he's asking like, do I want to live? What am I living? What am I here for? And just kind of getting to that moment where he's having that nightmare, and the nightmare is brought on by him being strangled. But for him, this is regular for him. He doesn't even know that he was being strangled, you know? Like, and to me, I've had those dreams where I'm sleeping, I don't know I'm being strangled, and I wake up like, God damn, what happened? Why couldn't I breathe? And, you know, it's just, you know, he had a nightmare, and it's to see that his past is weighing heavy on him, but he also doesn't know what his future is either. He has no idea what he's going to do, because what he thought his goal was, what he thought his life's purpose was at that moment, was stripped and taken from him. He's a lifeless shell. And I feel like this is leading to that point where he tries to find where his value is in life.
I'm going to be true with you.
That's it.
Let's, what you said is accurate. Okay. That could have been episode 1. All of this could have been episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
Because that gives us more than enough, I guess, after effects of what happened with him being like at the end of season 1, essentially a failure. You know what I mean? Of course, this PTSD is gonna fuck him up. He's a kid that killed hundreds of people, probably. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I get all that. I get that. That part was dope too, but was it enough for me to be like, it's a good episode? No, I don't think it was a good episode. I just think it was fine. It would have been a good first episode. It would have been a great first episode, actually. But we still got nowhere. We still got absolutely nowhere. You can't see the color in his eyes. But that was the last 5 minutes. And what does your Uncle Polo always say? The last 5 minutes being good of an episode is still an F. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make it good. The beginning, that I knew everybody after I saw the beginning of Vinland Saga. I knew everybody was going to be like, Vinland Saga is dope. Vinland Saga is great because he dodged the guy's snake's slash. Like, we know Thorfinn is a fucking beast.
Yeah,
like that's not enough. We know he's an ox. There's nothing you can say that'll change the fact that we know that he's skilled. I want to know what we got at the last 10 minutes with the whole choking dream thing. What was it like? It was like 6-7 minutes or so, because that was like the very end when he was choking him, and then he woke up and he said thank you, and that was like the best part of the entire episode. And that I think we should have, if we would have just got this as episode 1, it would have been a perfect way to continue this story. Even from here is the context of Enor being sold as a slave, and then the conversations with him and Thorfinn at the farm, and then the security guards trying to get the owner of the farm's son to kill Thorfinn as his rite of passage. Was all of that necessary? No. literally the beginning of this episode could have been the start of the season, and it would have been good. It would have been fine.
I can see that.
While it was okay, it was better. It was definitely better than the previous episodes. I am looking forward to the next episode though, because like you said, I do think with him, with the way he was thinking Inor, it looked like he had the color back in his eyes. Because if you remember throughout the entire first 3 episodes or whatever, 3.5 episodes, he didn't have any color in his eyes. It was flat, dull, dead,
No life.
dull, like, no life. It was, which was cool. I mean, again, I think, because you got to think in the context of what Vinland Saga is bringing, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's 24 episodes, so of course it's going to be a little bit slower. So I guess that's my own fault. It's my own fault for expecting a little bit more for a show that's going to run as long as this one is.
Yeah.
So maybe I should temper my expectations a lot more as far as pacing goes, and expect that the show is going to be a lot slower than what I am to expect.
So that's exactly what I was thinking, right? Because I'm looking at this. We're getting 24 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I think with that in mind, that it's going to be 24 episodes, that yes, this could have been better paced, but had this been the exact beginning, right? And then they tried to touch a little bit on Aenor's story a little bit down the line and progress it that way. I feel like it would have almost been out of whack, and we'd have been like, okay, let's just get
what are we
past
missing?
Anyway.
What context are we missing? Yeah, that's true.
And
that's true.
I get it. Like, because we've had this where anime has slow starts, but then just got really, really dominant or story dominant, or just got stronger towards the latter half.
Trying to think of one. You got one?
To me, it was like Steins Gate for one.
Oh, yeah, for you, yeah, I guess.
But I mean, once it hit that stride, everything else was
Steins
really
Gate popped off in episode 1 though, so that.
I mean, I get episode 1 was good, but I'm saying like everything in between episode 1 to 7 was like okay.
And then you got Vinland Saga season 1. Everything from Vinland Saga season 1 was a rocket ship, in my opinion.
Well, I thought Vinland Saga season 1 started off solid, got a little bit slower, and then went hard again.
Yeah, because well, that was when he was moving. When in the middle of season 1, he was kind of moving about, which I thought was fucking fire.
And I mean, like, it slowed down, because what I'm saying is, like, I think, like, and I don't even know if it was middle. I think it was like episode 4-ish and up to like maybe episode like 8 to 9. But it was like until he got to the point to where he met the big muscle bound dude who was chopping everything up. Basically, Thorfinn was consistently trying to kill Askeladd, but couldn't. And like, all right, I'm gonna pick up a sword and try, and he was being really shitty with the sword and had to get good.
I love that part, bro.
I'm not saying that's bad, but I'm saying it took him a long time to get good, and that was like the slowest part of it. I'm saying that like for character building, that was better, but it wasn't the peak part of the show. The peak part of the show was seeing him at least put all of that training and effort and stuff to action.
But the way he was being groomed and cultivated, it was so good to me, man. It makes me want to understand. Vinland Saga was top 3 of 2020. Was that the year it came out? I think that was the year it came out. 2019. It was top 3 2019 in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Definitely, because I think I was so invested, dude. I want to go back and listen to our older episodes. I won't do it, but I wish I could have the patience to go back and listen to our old episodes when we were discussing Vinland Saga, because I got a feeling I was real hype about this shit. Because as I'm starting to remember Vinland Saga season 1, I start to remember like it was, like you said, the cultivation, the grooming of Askeladd, literally grooming Thorfinn to become the killer, to kill him one day. But he wasn't just using that to make him the killer of him one day. He was using that to make him a killer in general, which was
overall monster.
Which is fucking disgusting to think about after what you've done to him and his family. Like it's an awful situation to be put in, but it was still such great character development and movement that maybe that's why I'm being so hard on the start of season 2, because I feel like the start of season 1 was so fire that we deserve that again.
That same start, you're right.
That same energy. So, I mean, I guess we'll see. I hope it's popping off. Like I said, by the time y'all hearing this episode, y'all probably like Tajay or Polo. This is already popped off. This is like what we got right now in episode 5 has been fantastic, because it airs in 9 hours from the time we're recording this. But I could be, and I'm just ready. I'm just ready for it to be good again, and to say, yes, it's good again.
Yes.
Can't wait. I'm at Polo Born Fly on all social media.
I'm at King Teliano on all social media.
You can follow our social medias at Mike Check Waifu on Twitter and at Mike Check Waifu on Instagram and TikTok. And as always, Mike Check.
Yo, I high key thought we had one more episode to talk.
Oh, nope.
I was
That's
like,
it.
hold on, wait, do we got one more? And I was like, oh no, that is 3.
Bye.
You're now tuned into Mike Check Waifu Waifu. Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you?